pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media tonight, the Racers Elite Xfinity Series. Wow, Truck Series is going to be coming from Homestead, Miami here, down in South Florida. I am Mike Timoni up in the booth as always. Last week we were treated to some pretty good action. We had 75 laps of Auto Club Speedway, 8 leaders, 22 lead changes, and the most important stat, 0 cautions. Jake Van Wazer was able to lead 18 laps, had the fastest lap as well, and was able to bring home the victory. Joshua Neal led the most laps at 21, but fell just short of the win. And Andrew Teft rounded out that top 3. Looking at the standings, Andrew Teft, Joshua Neal. Andrew Teft is leading right now after having one drop week. He has 185. Joshua Neal, Jake Van Wazer both have 180. So these are the old Winston Cup Series points. So the most you can get is 185 per race. That's if you lead the most laps and win the race. Like they're just getting ready to wrap up practice. Brandon Puffenbarger is the fastest in practice, along with Andrew Teft. Both of them pretty quick as usual. I got a field of, looks like 15 drivers here tonight in this truck series, ready to take on the Homestead Miami Speedway here. Gonna elect to get out on track first. Looks like it is David Davis. They do have 10 minutes to create their qualifying laps here. Walt 07 machine making his way out there. We got 82 machine of Joshua Neal. Also starting his laps. Dennis Kane repping Subway tonight. That 4 machine. Homestead Miami does have progressive banking in the corners. It's the 18 to 20 degrees. The straights are barely banked at all. Usually you can see the drivers exit the corner and kind of slide almost into that wall because the straights only have 3-degree banking. David Davis, first one with a lap complete with a 34.77. Joshua Neal finished his first lap with a 33.26. Dennis Kane up there with a 33.67. Up to David Davis as he's finishing his lap here. A 35.10, not quite what he wanted. Joshua Neal finished his and went a little bit faster, 33.24. Dennis Kane come across, 33.24 as well. Kirby Wainscott jumped up there with a 33.77 on his first lap. Looking for more in that 99 machine. Coming to the start finish line for his second lap. 33.44, so a little bit quicker, but not quite fast enough. 19 Fast Tracker Toyota is on track, making a move here. Gonna come to the start finish line and finish his first lap. Top of the board, 33.06 for Jake Van Wazer here. If he's going to try and take another lap. As we're watching Jake, Kinsley Smith jumped on right behind him and got up there with a 33.14. Like Jake's going to finish here momentarily. $32.98, only one that's sub 33 at the moment. Kinsley Smith went a little bit faster. He's up there with a 33.06. Austin Smith, a 33.11 first time by. Coming through 3 and 4, we're going to try and get some more speed out of that 23 Chevy here. And he will go 33 even. Corey Crowell out on track. First time by a 33.65. Daniel Honeycutt rocking through here with a 33.40, so has some work to do for that 72 Mahindra Ford. He can go any faster this time by. Gonna be close here. 32.87 for Daniel Honeycutt, top of the board. See who's back out on track now. Gary Madu, Andrew Teft, Michael Smith, Scotty Davis. I was wrong. Looks like we got 16 drivers showing up tonight. You guys have come out in full force. Heck of a job getting some drivers recruited for this league, and they seem to be doing it every night. Who got a little loose there? Did Scotty Davis. Going to be a relatively slow time. Didn't hit the wall, so it should... Oh, the 98 Ford of Andrew Teft up there with the 33.13. Gary Madu a 33.29. Madu almost coming through to his last time by here. 33.02. See if Andrew Teft has anything more coming out of that Ford there. 33.03, so just a little slower than Madu there. Scotty Davis first time by 33.48. Michael Smith second time by a 33.56. Puffenbarger out here 33.16. Brendan hadn't been able to race for a little while here and now is back on track. We'll see what he can do. Coming to the start finish line, second time by. 32.91. Good enough for second right now. Front row it is. Alex Teft is going to have to get motor in here if he wants to throw down a qualified time here. Ooh, got loose coming off of 4. We do have Alex Teft and like Jeremy Carter are still to go here. Teft is on track. Has to make this one here a good one. Yeah, 33.65 for his one lap he got. Qualifying is done, and that's going to be it for qualifying. So they will jump on the grid. We'll get set to go here. Daniel Honeycutt on the pole once again. Comes to us from North Carolina. And that Mahindra 72 Ford. Brandon Puffenbarger. Outside row 1, Jake Van Wazer and Austin Smith. Gary Madu, Andrew Teft, Kinsley Smith, Joshua Neal, row 5, Dennis Kane and Scotty Davis. Michael Smith and Kirby Wainscott in row 6. Row 7 is Alex Teft and Corey Crowell. David Davis and Jeremy Carter are going to round out the field here of 16 drivers. Up front are two guys that are not strangers to one another. Daniel Honeycutt and Brandon Puffenbarger. They've been battling, say, almost every night every night of the week. We've got Tuesday night trucks here, and we have Wednesday's their Xfinity series. Thursday, they've got the next gens. Pace truck is in. Daniel Honeycutt with the button coming through the start-finish line, and we are ready to go here. Honeycutt, Puffenbarger get pretty good jumps. They're about even, working through 1 and 2 here. And Wazer staying with him. Puffenbarger gets loose. Puffenbarger is out into the, almost into the wall there on the high side, trying to gather the truck in. Scotty Davis down to his inside, as is Kirby Wainscott. 3 wide there for a minute there with Puffenbarger. And it looks like we got a couple guys wall riding already, as Jake Van Wazer takes the lead and starts to draw away. Austin Smith staying down low as Honeycutt and Madu start doing battle in that high line. Madu down to the inside, going to take advantage here and see if he can get by Honeycutt for 3rd place. And he will do it. Andrew Teft down to the low side, going to try and get by Honeycutt as well. Looks like Joshua Neal was going to try, but thought better of it as they were coming out of the corner and he gathered it back in. It's like Honeycutt is just loose. Getting back here with Puffenbarger on his back bumper. So the front row is now back in 7th and 9th position as Kinsley Smith is passing both of them as well. It looks like Scotty Davis is going to try and make a move here as he's moving down that bottom line. Slides up in front of Corey Crowell. Crowell down to the inside, going to pass him right back here. 45 Chevy of Michael Smith. Ooh, Scotty Davis went from the high line all the way down to the bottom. Luckily, nobody was in his way there as they were able to slow down just enough. Jeremy Carter, Kirby Wainscott, and David Davis bring out the last 3 of the field here. Van Wazer is now starting to just log laps here. Working our way through lap 5 of this 101 lap affair. They do have the 4 sets of tires laying in the pits. And one thing that's interesting about this Racers Elite Truck Series as Austin John Smith goes down to the bottom, going to try and test Ben Wazzer here on that low side. Is not only do they run the old Winston Cup points, but they also run a lighter fuel load. So you'll see these guys, yes, it's 101 laps, but usually when you look at a league race and they're talking 101 laps, you know, you think maybe one pit stop. No, these guys are going to have to make, what, at least 3, maybe 4, depending on how long they decide to stretch this fuel mileage. Ben Wazzer down almost basically on that white line, and behind him Gary Madu here on the wall, basically wall riding, almost literally that time. See if we can get a see how close we can get to seeing the wall here. All right, it's coming down the front stretch, all over the back of Andrew Teff now. Teff goes down to the low side, but who's going to hang up high? And here you see him coming down, and that time he dives to the inside, and he's going to try and take Andrew Teff down low. So back up to third place from Madu here, as they swap run-in lanes, as Teft was up in the high lane that time. Puffenbarger starting to move back towards the front. He's currently in 6th. Daniel Honeycutt still hasn't been able to get that car under control, as he is now back into 11th. As he is kind of hemorrhaging spots here. Austin John Smith still leading the race, 11 laps in. Ben Wazzer just to his backside there. They're both running almost identical lines, as Andrew Teff passes Madu again for that third place. Puffenbarger is up to 5th, looking for another one here. Joshua Neal also ran pretty well last week. Madu down to the inside once again. Not giving much ground to anybody here, as they are battling back and forth, swapping positions, inside, outside, crossovers, every which way. As Teff takes back third place, as Madu's up into almost the wall. Might have got into the wall just a little bit as he's slowing down. He's going to allow Puffenbarger to get by. Joshua Neal now looking to pass, and so is Dennis Kane. Neal not quite able to get by here. Madu staying up in that high line. We'll see if Joshua Neal is able to get by down low. Not quite, slides up in behind. Gonna try and drift up towards the wall, try and get some speed as they drive down into turn 1 and 2 here. Not quite enough. See if anything's happening up front here. Buffenbarger and Teft have to either get hooked up or figure out what they're doing here. As you can see, this is kind of really a multi-groove surface. As you see, some of these guys will, I'm going to say, will start venturing towards the high line when the racetrack starts to come in a little bit more here. But with there only being between a 23 and 26 laps on a tank of fuel, I don't know that you're going to see that tire wear where you have to kind of move up the track and run that high line to make it work here. Joshua Neal still has not been able to get past that 63 Chevy here. Working down on the low side, trying to carry some speed through, but driving off the corner, that 63 machine just has an incredible drive off, which is kind of what happens when you start to lose, or when you're just going through the corner. That momentum in that high line can just kind of carry you, whether your car's faster or not. It just carries, it has that little bit more momentum. And as I'm talking about Joshua Neal, I have to jump back here to this Home Depot 43 Toyota of Alex Teft. Didn't have the qualifying run that he wanted, but definitely has put some speed into that machine, as he is now up 7 positions, sitting in lucky 7. So we're going to see when these guys elect to make that jump to pit lane. Like Steph gets a little loose there going to that high line. Austin John Smith is starting to drive away here. And Wazzer a little over half second back. See if we can jump on here. On the gyro cam with Smith. You can see just how flat the straightaways are with this gyro cam versus the turns. Coming down through the start finish line here. That last lap time was a 34:20, fastest lap on the track of the fastest last lap on track. Like we have a couple guys hidden pit lane. We got Jeremy Carter on his way out. Ray Crowell headed in right now. Like Scotty Davis is going to come in. So it is going to be interesting to see how this shapes up here with the runs that we're expecting. 11 in, 15 in. Looks like Wayne Scott called it a night. David Davis still out the back quite a little ways. Alex Teff coming in. We'll see if anybody's going to try and see how long everybody's going to try and stretch that fuel run here. I'll say almost everybody should come in this time. Smith, Wazzer, Puffenbarger, Teft in. Pretty much everybody's going to come in except for Joshua Neal stayed out. And looks like Michael Smith stayed out. So 82 in, 45 in. So that is, we'll call it interesting. Andrew Teft spent a grand total of 37.65 seconds on pit lane. Looks like he probably only took fuel. 8.65 seconds in his box. Looks like everybody else probably at least, I'm gonna say they probably got all four tires. Austin John Smith takes back to the lead. Andrew Teft able to hang on for second for the moment, and then Wazzer, Puffenbarger all coming out. Joshua Neal pitted a lap later and is still holding on right now. Puffenbarger just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 33-second flat time. Jeremy Carter, Corey Crowell, Alex Teft all battling back behind Joshua Neal here. Daniel Honeycutt looks like he's back down pit road. There's a tough battle going on here. Let's see if we can take a look here. You can kind of see the way all three of these drivers are running a little bit different line. Alex Teft is more in the high line. Crowell's down low, and then they get together when they come back up here. As I say that, Teft switches it up, goes down to the low side, and is going to take that position from Crowell. .29 laps completed. So with that, we're going to go ahead and step aside. You won't miss anything as we go side by side. We'll be back momentarily. welcome back everybody to Sim Racing Media and the Racers Elite Truck Series. A little bit of action going on while we were away. Andrew Teff down pit lane. Like he might have tried a little bit different strategy and didn't work out, as now he is in and out. Looks like Daniel Honeycutt also did a little bit different strategy, as he was only in his pit box for his second time for 5.7 seconds. I want to kind of see something here, see if something happened, or if he was just getting past here. Let's look at the pass for second here. It looks like Andrew just was a little bit slow there. So Austin Smith has over a 2-second lead over Jake Van Wazer. Joshua Neal up to third. Then we've got Alex Teft up 10 spots inside the top 5. P4. Puffenbarger was running inside the top 3. Looks like he might have had a little hiccup there. He is now back into 5th. We'll see what happens with that here. Thanks, Nick G, for coming in the chat. Got that 19 Toyota looking good. He surely does here. Looking to go back to back. But Austin Smith has been lights out. Joshua Neal a little ways back there in third, about 7 seconds off the leader right at the moment. And we're inside 10 laps for everybody else to make another pit stop here. Saw a few guys come down. 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. So we'll see how that all works out. The 26 machine of Jimmy Carter. I believe that's the first time I've seen this 26 machine here. Like I said, these guys have done a tremendous job recruiting drivers. Up to 16 this week. It grows every week. I can't wait to see what happens throughout the rest of the season here, as we're working through lap 41. I'll take a look here, see if we can get a little zoomed in view here of the drivers on track. Austin Smith, current leader in that Milwaukee number 23 machine, has led the majority of the laps. Like he came down to pit lane on lap 24. We got Jake Van Wazer, last week's winner, looking to go back-to-back here in Miami at that Bass Tracker 19 Toyota. Sitting P2 right now. Also on the same pit strategy at the moment. Looking at lap 24 is when he last pitted. Joshua Neal, the 82 USS Silicones Looks like he stayed out an extra lap, but stretched it to 25. So looks like he's trying to make it 4 pit stops and maybe stretch it a little. We'll see what happens for the rest of the race here. Alex Teft up 10 spots from where he started, that 43 Home Depot Toyota. Last pit on lap 23. Looks like he short pitted just a little bit from Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Brandon Puffenbarger in that Lowe's Gladiator number 5 Chevy. Started on the front row, has battled back to be P5 right now. Gary Madu from north of the border here. That 63 machine running fairly well, just down 1 position from where he started. Pit on lap 24. Dennis Kane also pit on lap 24. The Detroit driver here of the number 4 Subway Ford. Corey Crowell up 5 spots from where he qualified. Currently sitting P8 on the board. Go back to the 45 Milwaukee Chevy of Michael Smith. Up 3 spots, sitting P9. David Davis right now in that 07 DeWalt machine from Arnold, Missouri. Sitting P10. That is how they roll through the top 10 right now. Lap 47, we should see a few more guys head to pit lane. We already have a couple that jumped in. Jeremy Carter went in on lap 42. Kinsley Smith, 44. Scotty Davis, 44. Roy Crawwell in and out right now. Got his second set of Goodyears on that 20 Ford. I'll say we'll probably see the rest of the drivers start to head in momentarily. I bet our leader comes down. If he comes down this time, or if it'll be one more. Coming down the back stretch. We'll see if he gets down to that inside lane and slows her down a little bit. See if he will. No, he's going to go around one more time, so he'll probably pit next time by. Van Wazer as well. Joshua Neal, he stayed out an extra lap last time, so I'm assuming we're not going to see him for at least one more lap, maybe 2. Puffenbarger staying out. Kane out. So right now, at the moment, Austin Smith has a pretty big lead as Van Wazer comes down pit lane. Thought we were going to see Smith come down, but he stayed out. He should be coming down this time by. Plus he's trying to stretch it just a little more just in case here. Joshua Neal down the back stretch. Puffenbarger not too far behind as we're halfway through round number 3 at Homestead, Miami here in the Racers Elite Truck Series. David Davis in. Joshua Neal, Austin Smith all come in. Puffenbarger in. Michael Smith, I'm going to say he's probably going to turn down here as looks like he's starting to slow her down. Andrew Teff does not have to come down. He last pitted on lap 33, so he should be able to make a couple more turns of the track here. Puffenbarger, Smith. And Austin Smith is just driving lights out here. Made his second pit stop on lap 50. And was still able to get out in front of Andrew Teft, who last pitted on lap 33 and stayed out. Ben Wazer getting by as well here. Honeycutt back in. I think he's making his third pit stop. Joshua Neal looks like he's going to go dive down to the inside and going to try and pass Teft here. And it looks like he will. As he got loose, gathered that truck back in, and is still able to stay in front of Andrew here. Andrew Teft is now going to be under attack from Alex. Alex goes up high. Ooh, Alex into the wall. That's one of the things that happens here at Miami. You can see the tire marks along the wall. It happens all the time. But Alex is still able to make the pass here on Andrew. We'll see if Andrew's kind of saving some fuel or what he's trying to do once this race gets towards the conclusion here. Just completed lap 55, working on 56 now. Gary Madu rolling through the corners here. Not sure what happened with Puffenbarger here. He is down 10 spots from where he started. Coming down the front stretch. Looked at, yeah, Daniel Honeycutt's behind him. So the front row is having issues tonight. Andrew Teft back down pit lane. We'll see if Andrew's strategy is going to come to fruition here. It looks like he took that splash and go on his first pit stop and then is spread out these last two. So lap 58, 57 when he came in. So we'll see how that strategy is going to work as he is back out on track now. Currently sitting P14. Puffenbarger is sitting P11, and he is just out in front of the windshield here. Of Austin Smith. Stay on board here for another minute. Jeremy Carter down pit lane. Oh, he is saving fuel like a mother already. So, we know the strategy now for Austin Smith here. Jake Van Wazer, jump on board. You can see what's going on here. The 19's really not closing ground. I would have thought he would have been closing a little bit more ground with how Austin is saving fuel here, but it doesn't look like that is the case. Let's see what the third place driver Joshua Neal is doing. Rolling through. So 3 fairly different strategies from our top 3 drivers. All 3 of them pitted within a lap of each other. Smith and Neal on lap 50, Van Wazer on lap 49. So we'll see what that has to do once we get ready for this money stop here. Well, I'll say money stop, but we'll see how it shakes out for, looks like half of the drivers here. Got some guys that pitted on lap 44 that are going to have to come down. 45. Alex Teft pitted on lap 47, so we'll see if he's going to try and stretch it a couple laps or if he's just going to come down at 24 once again. Scotty Davis headed down pit lane. Let's jump back on board real quick. See how much saving he's doing here. Saving a ton of fuel. We'll see if he's going to be able to save a few laps of fuel. We'll stay with these guys until the leader here hits pit lane, and we'll take our second break and then bring you back for all of the action to close out this round 3 of Racers Elite Truck Series from Homestead, Miami. Joshua Neal up to second. And it looks like Van Wazer's trying to save some fuel here. Let's jump on board here and take a look. It looks like he's slowed way down. the 3 different strategies. We'll see how this works out. Looks like Joshua Neal is just cruising here. Let's see if we can see if he's driving any different at the moment. Looks like he really is not. Staying about the same as he was from the beginning. Austin Smith able to get around a couple drivers. There are 7 cars on the lead lap. We'll see when Smith elects to come down pit lane. Corey Crowell in the pit box now. That leaves 6 drivers that have, well, 6 drivers on the lead lap right at the moment. Austin Smith, Joshua Neal, Jake Van Wazzer, Alex Teff, Dennis Kane, Brandon Puffenbarger. As I say that, Alex Teff comes down pit lane. So we haven't seen anybody stretch the fuel really any more than 26 laps at the most. These guys are doing a great job staying out here and rolling these corners. You have a couple drivers that are a lap down that have to make at least one more pit stop. Michael Smith looks like he'll have to make one, and David Davis will have to make at least one more. As he last pit on lap 48, so we'll see if he's gonna have enough to get there. All the drivers inside the top 5 pit on lap 50 and 49 respectively. We'll see who blinks first. We saw from the onboard how Austin Smith is saving the fuel like mad. See if he can get a couple laps. And what might be a little worrisome to the rest of the field is if Austin Smith is shutting off that car like it looked like he was doing and is still gaining time. Imagine what he could do if he's actually, driving through the corner, not just coasting through. We'll see what happens after he makes his money stop here. Should be the last one for him, as he's now made it 25 laps on that fuel run. Andrew Teft back in 7th. He's made 3 pit stops, so he's the highest running driver of the guys who have already made 3 pit stops. We know he's going to have to make another one. I mean, there was talk almost all day about the strategy here at Homestead and what strategy would work if you could make it 3 pit stops, or if you were going to have to do that 4th and get that little splash and go. It looks like Andrew decided to take that stopping or splash and go early, and now he is trying to battle back and hold a pretty good position here, as he is now up into 2nd. But these guys that made their pit stop don't have to stop again. Well, Joshua Neal doesn't have to stop again now. Van Wazzer doesn't have to stop again. But we'll see if when Austin Smith comes in, and he heads in now, so lap 77, so he will have more than enough to get there. So Andrew Tuft is going to be racing around here trying to get at least a lap led. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Not yet. Austin Smith on his way out the box. We'll see if Tuft is going to be able to get him, and it looks like he will. So we'll see if Andrew can hold on and at least lead a lap. And it looks like he will for the time being, as he gets a little loose there coming out of 4. And here comes Austin Smith back to the front. Fastest man on the track, though, is the 19 machine of Jake Van Wazer. 32.99, the only sub 33-second lap time we have seen in this race. Joshua Neal gets by Andrew as well. So as they do that, we're going to step aside for our final commercial break. We'll be back momentarily for the conclusion of the Racers Elite Truck Series from Homestead, Miami. Welcome back, everybody, to the Racers Elite Xfinity or Truck Series on Sim Racing Media. We are 17 laps left to go here. Brandon Puffenbarger in pit lane for his final pit stop, it looks like. We'll see what Austin Smith is going to do here. We saw how he was saving fuel through the last run. Let's jump on board here, see if he's still doing that. And he is. He is committed to that pit stop strategy here. 15 laps to go. Puffenbarger is not having a good time at the moment as he gets loose, coming off of 4 right in front of the leader. Alex Steff coming down pit lane for his final pit stop here. Joshua Neal losing ground, has a 2-second gap to make up here. Van Wazer doing everything he can. He's running almost identical lap times, though, to the leader. Looks like he is closing in on Joshua Neal, but he still has a 6-second gap. It's going to be tough for him to get that back within these 13 laps here. Dennis Kane down low. We'll see what Andrew Teft can do. Trying to battle to get back onto the lead lap. He is the first truck a lap down at the moment. But he's about, say about 3.5 seconds behind the leader right now. Trying to get his lap back the hard way here. 12 laps to go. And if you guys are seeing this and liking all this green flag action and want to be a part of it, there is a link in the comment section there, racerselite.com. That'll get you where you need to be to get signed up to join these guys out here. They race 3 nights a week. All 3 of them broadcasted here on Sim Racing Media. Tuesday night trucks, Wednesday's the Xfinity, and Thursday is the Next Gen cars. Puffenbarger just ran the fastest lap of the race, 32.95. Won't be battling for the win, but he is definitely one of the faster guys on track. Corey Crowell heads down pit lane, make his 4th and final pit stop. So that is going to leave 4 cars on the lead lap at the moment. Dennis Kane about 24 seconds behind Austin Smith. Let's jump on and see where Andrew is compared to you can see him up there as Austin's making his way around the track. Andrew was able to get by Joshua Neal here. See if he can at least get back on the lead lap. Right now he's sitting with a top 5 at the moment, up 1 spot from where he started. Van Wazer about 11.5 back. Joshua Neal a little over 4 seconds back. So it's going to be all a matter of if there are any mistakes or any chinks in the armor of this 23 Milwaukee Chevy here. Sarah, just basically pit strategy. Andrew came down the first time, and then he kind of short pitted, just got fuel only, and then had to make 2 more pit stops. He came in on lap 80. Everybody else came in on lap 75, 77. So that's how he went from towards the front to where he's at now. So, I mean, I know they talked about it all, well, a lot of the morning, what the pit strategy would be. And it was pretty much a consensus that a splash and go was going to be the way to go. So Andrew elected to take it early and now finds himself in this hole of about 37 seconds right now. He is closing in on the leader, but he'll have to pass the leader and then go around the track one more time. But he is running faster than the leader by almost half a second. Well, Ben Wazzer coming in, so we'll see if Teft is going to get any more spots back. Looks like Alex might be closing in on the back of Andrew as well. Alex kind of had the same strategy, came in on lap 87 though to get some fresh tires. But Van Wazzer now is going to come out of pits back in 6th position and a lap down. So right now 4 laps to go. 3 trucks are on the lead lap. Austin Smith, last pit on lap 77, has been saving fuel, jumped on board a couple times, and saw him just shut off his truck and roll through the corner, turn it back on, and that is where he's at. He's made 3 pit stops. Almost everybody else on the on track has made 4, except for the other 2 guys that are on the lead lap. Joshua Neal, he's trying to hold on for a podium here. And Dennis Kane. Dennis Kane trying everything he can to keep that number 4 machine on this lead lap. He's going to have to save a couple more laps of fuel here. Let's jump on board, see if Austin is still doing that, and he is. He's turning it off even earlier now. Looks like he might be starting it a little bit sooner, trying to get a little bit better drive off of the corner to get a little more speed in that number 23 machine. Shuts it off, rolls it through about center, turns it back on, and away he goes. 2 laps to go. White flag in the air this time. Alex is able to dive to the inside, going to get past Andrew here. Going to be a battle for 4th position here between the Teft brothers. Not really a battle for the lead, for the win, as Austin John Smith shows up and runs lights out and is going to bring home the victory here in this round number 3 from Homestead, Miami. Alex Teft is going to get by Andrew Teft. We'll see if Joshua Neal gets up for 2nd. Again, another well-fought race. And surprise, surprise, look who's going to show up for P3. I don't think we've talked to him in quite a while. Dennis Kane's going to get up and hold on, be the last car on the lead lap. So I guess with that settles the debate, as Austin Smith, Joshua Neal, and Dennis Kane all only made 3 pit stops, and were able to bring home all 3 podium positions. Alex Teft, biggest mover of the race, up 10 spots from where he qualified, finishes P4. Let's see here who we can bring up. Hey Dennis, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Hey Mike, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad. Besides taking by Jameer Gibbs, was that you? So
yeah, I mean, heck of a run. I mean, you guys kind of were debating about fuel strategy early in the day, and you the 3 that wound up on the podium only made 3 pit stops. So was that kind of the way you figured the race would go, or just kind of unsure what was going to happen?
Yeah, I wasn't sure at first, and I kind of kicking myself because I pitted. I think I pitted a lap too early on the first fuel run, and then once I realized I could make it, I started saving me a little too early and probably cost myself some time.
Definitely, but you definitely did a great job. You guys ran another race, start to finish, completely green.
Oh wow, yeah, I guess we did, didn't we?
Yeah, kind of threw out most of. Well, just made it easier for the fuel strategy here. Is not much else you could do. Is these guys were driving lights out. I mean,
yeah, as the race was trending that way, that's kind of what it was like. Okay, either I'm going to have to make an extra pit stop or I have to try to save fuel. So kind of realized a little late in the game. I think the other 2 guys may have went into the race with that game plan. I kind of figured out a little bit too late, so that might have been a lot of the difference.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a couple guys come down a little early, trying to do that. Looked like they were trying to get that splash and go in the middle part of the race, so they had a longer run towards the end, and looks like it cost them some time. But heck of a run from you to get your P3. Anybody you want to thank before I let you go?
I just want to thank everyone out there, Racers Elite, you guys over at Sim Racing Media, and everyone watching, everyone who supports. That's it.
Definitely, man. All right, well, I'll talk to you later.
Cool, thanks, man. Bye.
All right, let's see if we can do this week. Hey, Joshua, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Back-to-back P2 finishes. Didn't get to catch up with you last week, but heck of a run this week. We're able to save enough fuel to bring home P2.
Yeah, strategy has worked in my favor the last couple of weeks. Just need to find a little bit more speed. These guys are fast. So, yeah.
Yeah, was that always kind of your strategy, to try and save fuel and hope that it went green the whole way?
Yeah, I was hoping it would go green, but I wasn't really trying to save fuel. It was just how I was running my line and just, back in the corner up and just rolling through the center. I was able to save fuel, so it worked out. So, it was a good race.
Definitely was. Last week you got P2, this week P2. Last week you were able to lead the most laps as well. So a couple good point stays here. Anybody want to thank before I let you
go? Thanks for you broadcasting and Racers Elite. This league's pretty fun. I'm having a good time.
Definitely, man. Well, I will talk to you maybe next week.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yep. Hey, Austin, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
It's going well, Mike. How are you?
Not too bad. Heck of a drive there. You were able to shut your car off and kind of roll through the corners, and you still had a ton of speed in that machine.
Yeah, it was my strategy coming into it. Just knew I needed to save a lot of fuel if we were going to go green the whole way. So just started to run 3/4 throttle down the straightaways, and then I was clutching in on entry of all the corners. So I was able to save quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. I mean, even with how you were driving, you were still pulling away from some of the drivers. Is Homestead one of the tracks that you excel on more so than some others, or is it just the way your driving style just fits a little better?
Yeah, Homestead's always been super good for me. Always finish good here, and it seems like I'm always good on the long run here. So it kind of seemed that way tonight as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. As you were able to look like you were able to save a ton of fuel and kind of drive away at the end. So after this 1.5 miles, you guys head to the Nashville Fairgrounds. How do you think your driving style is going to fit over there?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I'm not super great on the short tracks. We'll see what happens. There's probably gonna be a lot more bumping and maybe a couple cautions next week. So we'll kind of see how that plays out.
Definitely, man. Well, anybody want to thank for your victory tonight before I let you go?
Yeah, just gotta thank my family for letting me race. Shout out to my mom. She had surgery today, so she's recovering, and allowed myself and my dad to race tonight. So thank you to her, and yeah, thanks to Racers Elite for putting this league on, and Sim Racing Media for broadcasting. It's always been great.
Definitely, man. Well, I will talk to you later and see what happens next week.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was Austin Smith winning the race here. Joshua Neal holding on for back-to-back P2s, and Dennis Kane with the podium. Go ahead and show the race results here. Had a full field tonight of 16 drivers. These guys grow every time we see them, and they put on a heck of a show. Like we were saying, caution free for 2 weeks in a row. Austin Smith wins the race. Joshua Neal in second. Dennis Kane, last car on the lead lap. Alex Teft and Andrew Teft battled fourth and fifth. Jake Van Wazzer had to pit late, brings home P6. Michael Smith up to seventh. Jeremy Carter, Corey Crowell, Scotty Davis round out that top 10. Brandon Puffenbarger started outside pole. Daniel Honeycutt on the pole, finished 11th and 12th. Kinsley Smith back in 13th. David Davis, Gary Madu, and Kirby Wainscott round out the field of 16 drivers. So from Miami, we will head to the fairgrounds of Nashville. So from all the drivers of the Racers Elite Truck Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, we hope to see you tomorrow night for the Xfinity Series, and then Thursday for the Next Gen Series. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.